So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're talking about album number 10 by the band Bush. I know, what year is it? Are we in 1999 again? So, Bush has actually, they've been riding high the last few years. They put out 16 Stone, which was an album that I love in the 90s. And they had, Razor Blade, Suitcase, and other albums. But those albums in the 90s I loved. But then, Gavin, like the band disbanded. He did another project called Institute, which was awesome, by the way. Then he did his solo work, he did acting. And then he took like a hiatus from Bush. Then he come back in the 2010s and he's released a few more albums. And those albums have been, some I like more than others. So it's been like hit or like middle of the road album, some good stuff in it. But right now, the only constant in Bush is Gavin Rossdale. It's basically a newer band because it has like different members. And even though it still has one constant, they sound more modern sounding than their grunge, like their grungier alternative era of the 90s. But I love both eras. Especially, I really got into them when they released that song Bullet Holes for the John Wick soundtrack. I thought it was awesome. And then they released The Kingdom, which actually made my top 25 of that year. And I saw Bush live when I lived in Miami. Awesome energy. So I went back to the band and have been enjoying their newer stuff, actually. So something constant that has stayed out through the years is that Gavin still, I have to give it to him. I don't know what he eats or what he drinks, but God damn it, he still looks good.
Hiya! I was born of this!
No, I'm saying it as a straight man, but yeah, I saw him in person and the guy has a lot of energy when he plays the concert. So that is a constant. So on this album number 10, I Beat Loneliness, I read that Gavin, recently lost his mother. And this is an album that he wrote throughout the pandemic of feeling lonely and losing people. So that's the themes that are covered on this record. Another important fact is that Gavin Rossdale produced this record with the help of Eric, I think Ron or something, with someone else. I butchered the name where I write it. So that's interesting that Gavin had a lot of producing on this one. So this is an album of two halves. So the first half of the album is great rocking tracks. There's some tracks that Bush has never sounded as aggressive as they sound of some of these tracks. And then the second half, it gets to be a little too mellow. And unfortunately, it hit the snooze button for me.
Snooze. Need more snooze.
Yes, I know. It happened on the later tracks. So let's talk about the tracks and obviously what I think of the album as a overall at the end of the video. So first of all, the production of the album everything sounds crisp, sounds well. Gavin Rossdale's voice is still sounding great. There's some great hooks on some of the songs at the beginning, like the song that starts the album, Scars, great track. And like good drumming also on that track. My favorite track on the record is the second track, I Beat Loneliness, which is the name of the album. This one, I just love it. I just love the feel, the lyrics. I like how Gavin is like declaring that he beat loneliness, and it feels like a very emotional track. And I like the guitar tone on this song. This hasn't been put out as a single, but if I made the decision, this would have been, actually, I think this would have been stronger than the two singles that they put out. So I don't know why they didn't release this as a single. So Gavin, what happened, man? I don't know. I highly doubt that Gavin Rossdale will watch my video, but if you do, Gavin, I'd love to talk to you, man. So yeah, I Beat Loneliness, my favorite track on the record. Then you have We're All the Same Inside, and again, great hooks, great chorus. The song really gets more in the harder area as well musically, and it's all about like saying like, even though like we are different outside or stuff, like inside we're all the same. Interesting. Yeah. Unless you have different genitalia, but besides that, we are all the same. So great track, and I think it's the hooks on these first tracks are really they sink their teeth into you. The single 60 Ways to Forget People, I remember when I listened to it, it didn't grab me as much, but I liked it more, and I can tell why they used it as a single. It's not a long track, it's got a great chorus, and the guitar on it is pretty good. Also, the bassist for Bush does a good job in this track, and most of the tracks, even though this is more of like a guitar driven band, I think the bass is used good on this track. The Land of Milk and Honey, it's a cool track, and I think it has that Bush quality of a single to it. I have no idea what the hell this song is about, but that's something with Bush. Sometimes his lyrics can be like cryptic. There's a lot of his songs that I don't know what the hell they're about, because I think he said on countless interviews that he likes to write like in a stream of conscious type of way, and maybe that's why some of the lyrics you're like, I wonder what the hell this is about. But yeah, it's a good single, and it's the third track on the record, so it gives that more energy to the record. So let's talk about the cons. So the placing of the songs here, it's very front loaded in the front. Like you have the heavy songs in the front, like the singles, and then track number, I believe is track number 7, where we have We Are of This Earth. And this song is more like laid back, more of a ballad, but it's boring as hell. And you know what? I have nothing against ballads, because Gavin Rossdale has written a few cool ones. Hello, Glycerine, Letting the Cable Sleep. Those are great songs, but unfortunately, We Are of This Earth is not one of them. It's like very slow and trotting, and even the chorus, he's like, we are of this earth, we are of this earth. He sounds like he's even boring singing it, like bored. So yeah, that track really the momentum goes down the drain with that one. And then the mistake that I think Gavin did as a producer here is having 3 slow songs back to back, man. Like, no! Like, you could have taken some of the heavier tracks and like mixed them up, and I think it would have made the flow of the record better. But unfortunately, this really makes the album like dip, like in like, I got bored. Like I said, I hit the snooze fest. So Everyone is Broken follows that one. That one is an okay. Yeah, it's not the best ballad in the world, but like I like how he sings. Gavin brings emotion on that one, so I wouldn't say it's a bad song. But then it goes to Don't Be Afraid, which is almost like a 6-minute track, and that one is again like, please wake me up when it's over. It's another boring ass track. Thankfully, then you have Footsteps in the Sand, which wakes you up after like 3 songs of slumber, and it gives you like a more rocking song. And I'm like, yes, Gavin, that's what you should have done. And the last track on the record is the album Closer. It's not very memorable. So this is an album that I think showed a lot of promise, and I gotta give it to Gavin, like, for being a producer and putting up some bangers of tracks here. So the album, it's not a bad album. I'm not gonna say this album is bad, but also this is an album that could have benefited from like different placements in the track flow, and I think it would have been better. So to me, it's an okay record. Definitely the flow of having like 3 like ballads like at the end, and having like the very strong songs at the beginning hurt this record a little bit. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Bush and I Beat Loneliness? Do you think it's a great album? Or do you agree with me that it was too front loaded with the better songs and then it hit the snooze button? I want to know. Comment down below. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield on the couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.